All right, guys, welcome back to Home on the Hitch. Glad to have you here. So what are we actually doing here just outside of Fort Worth? What are we getting ready for? We haven't actually put it out there that much, but it's time we started talking about it with you guys because we need some feedback on a lot of things about it. So we're going to spill the beans all about it today and let you know what's going on and what's going to be going on in the upcoming months and the things that you're not going to want to miss here on Home on the Hitch. So stick around. All right, so what brings us here to Fort Worth? Well, a lot brings us here to Fort Worth. So we are getting ready, and we've been getting the rig ready for a trip coming up that's going to start hopefully the 1st of June, and that is going to be Alaska. Now, I know what you're thinking. Did he just say Alaska? It's absolutely right. I did say Alaska. So we've been planning this trip. We're trying to get ready for this trip for 2 years now. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that everything goes well. So the plan is, basically in a nutshell, we're going to have some friends meet us out here. Ken and Barb, which they were at our hootenanny, they're going to meet us out here in Fort Worth, Texas. We are going to caravan north from here, basically drive and sleep till we get to Shelby, Montana, where we're going to meet up with the OG subscriber and supporter of the channel, and that's going to be Terry Haynes. So looking forward to that. And then the three of us, the three couples, we are going to caravan around Alaska for 2.5 to 3 months. So it's going to be epic. So for the past couple months, we've been out here in Fort Worth, hanging out with friends, working a good contract, and trying to get the rig ready for Alaska. That's basically top of mind. All right, so I guess a big part about it is trip planning. So what have we done for trip planning? Well, of course, we've done the YouTube videos and watching everybody else's trips to Alaska and how they've done it, as well as we have ordered the mileposts, and I guess that's both planning and kind of en route while everything's going on. But the primary tool we've used while planning this trip, as far as the route and the parks and the areas that we're going to stay in, is RV Trip Wizard. So if you've never used RV Trip Wizard, you should really give it a look. It's an all-inclusive route planning, budgeting, trip planning, park research app that is online that you access through your web browser. Allows you to put in information about your routing preferences, how far you like to drive in a day, how many hours you want to drive, how heavy your RV is, all those variables. And you can put those in and get RV safe and RV specific routing directions to follow on your phone from your computer. So it's a great tool, and one that we have used exclusively for the past 3 years. And I know that many channels use it as well as far as planning their routes and their travel. So you're going to want to check that out, rvtripwizard.com, or you can go to our website, homeonthehitch.com, and link over to it from there. But definitely worth a look. So that brings us up to the question of, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay in parks the whole time? Do you want to boondock? And we really want to boondock and save as much money as we possibly can. So that means as many nights in discounted campgrounds or partial hookup campgrounds as we possibly can. That means some type of power independence, generators, batteries, inverters, and so on. So what have we done? Well, if you've been watching our channel for a while, you know that we have a Champion inverter generator that is mounted on the back of the RV here. So it resides back here in this little box, right in there. And that is hardwired into the transfer switches inside of the tank of the generator, as well as a 5-gallon boat tank there. So we can really live like we're plugged in for a long time with that boat tank. So we ended up with this Power Horse generator, 2000 watt. Had to do a little work on it, but it's running great now. So we're going to bring that along as an extra little generator to have in case we have a failure, number one. And number two, I can charge our batteries, which we're going to talk about in a minute, just straight off of that generator if we have no other option. We didn't go over the top. Basically, we have 400 amp hours of lithium and a 3,000 watt Renogy inverter. So all that's housed in this compartment here. We don't have a whole lot of storage in this rig, and we had to give this area up. But we have the Renogy 3,000 watt inverter, 400 amp hours of lithium over there. This 75 amp Ames charger that runs off its own circuit in the camper, as well as it can run off of this Shoreline plug right here. If I need to plug that small generator we just saw earlier, can plug that in here, and this transfer switch right here will automatically swap over to that if anything's plugged in here. Or if we're at a campground that only has like a 15 amp service, I can just plug in here and run that charger. Got this Renogy 60 amp DC to DC charger that is going to be hooked up next week. So we'll be charging at around 60 amps or so as we drive down the road. So that should help us keep things charged up pretty well. We haven't added any solar up to this point. I've really been going back and forth with that idea, putting a small amount of solar on the roof to kind of offset the energy usage from the residential fridge. But since we got the battery monitor in and we've been doing tests with the batteries, the refrigerator doesn't use as much energy as I thought it was going to. Once it's at temperature, it really doesn't use as much wattage as I thought it was going to. So I'm not 100% sure if we're going to do that. I think between the DC to DC charger and the two generators and the AC charger, I think we have plenty of avenues to charge our batteries when we need to. And that's Sam. So down in the comments below, let us know whether you think solar is a good idea. Well, I think we're going to skip it for this trip because I don't think the cost reward benefit is actually there for us. I think we have plenty of ways to charge the batteries, but you might get to see me eat my words. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so another big thing that you hear about when you're talking about RV travel to Alaska is suspension and how horrible the roads are. Some people say they're absolutely horrible. Some people say they're not that bad. We haven't done any major upgrades to our suspension on the RV, but we have done a little bit, and this is what we've done so far. All right, guys, if you made it this far in the video, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you hadn't already. Click the notification bell because we have an absolute epic adventure coming up going to Alaska, and you're not going to want to miss a single moment. All right, so we've got our Goodyear Endurance tires on there. We've been really happy with those. They tow very smooth and have given us great service, knock on wood. So far, we've got a tire minder, TPMS, and I think that is something that's absolutely a must-have for pretty much any RV. If you don't have one, you really should be looking into those because a lot of damage can happen to your RV before you even know you got a flat tire. So you can't really see it behind the X-Chocks, but we do have an upgraded equalizer in there, as well as one thing that I did do was I upgraded the bolts and shackle hangers to wet bolts. I'll throw a picture up on the screen. They're so much thicker than the factory shackle hangers, and you can grease the bushings so everything rides in there really smooth. So we're gonna go with that. That's what we've done so far. I thought about adding sumo springs or shocks. Not really sure if it's 100% necessary. If you've been up there before, is it bad enough that we really need to be considering that, or should we be okay as it is? So we got an easy start I put up on the roof last week to help with running the air conditioner if we need to run it off the inverter setup, battery setup. I don't think we'll be doing that too much, but it's there. So that's one other thing that we did to get ready for Alaska. Pretty much that addresses everything on the outside of the RV that we've been looking at upgrading for this Alaska trip. Stuff on the inside though, I don't know really. What do you think about that?
Well, I think with what you've done already, I am already taken care of on the inside because I can run the refrigerator and the microwave, and you know we have electricity to run power and fans and stuff. So, yeah.
Good. I think.
And we've already tested things like the blow dryer.
Yeah, everything operates.
Everything works. So I don't really feel like I need to prepare any further.
So I think one thing that we are going to do is we will be taking a drive back home a few weeks before we leave. Leaving the RV here in Texas, we'll be taking a bunch of stuff that we're not going to haul all the way to Alaska.
Right, and we'll have, seasonal things that we need to switch out also.
So we'll pick those things up. I've got to get the rock guard for the bumper of the truck because I forgot to bring it with me when we came out here. Definitely need that for the road. I do know that. Other than that, I'm not really sure what else. We're going to kind of minimize what we have in the rig, focus on the things that we'll need, clothing-wise and seasonal-wise there.
Right, get some doctor's appointments taken care of.
Yep, absolutely. And otherwise, I don't know what we need to prepare. So if you guys, like I said earlier, if you guys have been to Alaska on an extended trip and you got any ideas, make sure you put them in the comments. All right, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thanks for being here. Go ahead and subscribe. Leave down in the comments any kind of tips or tricks you have for us heading out to Alaska. We're going to look at them all, and we need all the advice that we can get. We've never been there, so looking forward to it immensely. Make sure you stick around and see what happens here on Home on the Hitch. Take care of each other, love each other, make every moment count. See you next time, guys.